Hi everybody, all my followers, we welcome to another video. So the video today is on this 2009 Ford S-Max with the 2-liter diesel engine. Now I've been working on this thing pretty much for about 2 hours now. So the rest of the afternoon we've been doing the Ford Fiesta. I don't even know if I'm going to publish that video, but if I do, you probably have just seen that before this one. Basically this car was dropped here yesterday, exactly where it is, and I went today to start the car this afternoon about 2 hours ago, and the battery was completely dead. And the reason why I mentioned this is because I think that was part of the problem. So obviously, as you've seen by the title or the thumbnail, this is for a completely different issue, but I just thought to capture that here to again highlight the importance of a good battery on a car and the amount of issues that a battery can cause when it's bad. So the complaint, so we're dropping the car here today. When I went to start the car, battery completely dead. Unlocked the car, and then I turned the ignition on, and the ignition just started to flicker all over the place. Anyway, I rang the guy. He dropped me a brand new battery, which is now on the car. So I put the new battery, start the car, started absolutely fine. Scanned the car, loads of faults for wrong message from different modules, for voltage, for all sorts of codes. Cleared everything, went for a drive, drive absolutely fine. And the complaint, which was the car would shut down on its own. And apparently was driving absolutely fine. Idling like he's here now, he would just shut off. He said wouldn't matter if it was cold, if it was hot, you would start the car, within 10 to 20 seconds the car would shut off. After I started the car, after installing the new battery, I had it running here for about, I don't know, half an hour. Nothing would happen, so I rang the guy. I said, look, is there anything I can do to make it to happen? He said no, it just happens every time. I said, look, he's running here now, idling for about half an hour, no problems at all. So I've been then shutting the engine off and restarting it. Fine. I went for a drive around the village for about 20-25 minutes. Fine. Came back home, switch it off, start it again, and as you can see, he's now here idling for another 10 minutes, maybe more. Idling absolutely perfect, no problems at all. Rescan the car. There is one fault though that came back, which is the fault we're gonna capture now. We're gonna attempt to resolve, just so at least I make a video out of this. Otherwise it won't be nothing, but the guy wants me to fix that as well, so we're gonna fix that. In the meantime, I also fixed, well, I replaced 2 bulbs at the back, one on the third stoplight and one on the other side for the stoplight as well. Was coming with a warning on the dash for those. And now we're going to capture the problem that most likely the thumbnail or the title will highlight. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So the issue is, you clear the codes, all the codes will go away, and then within a couple minutes of the engine idling, it comes up with that fault. P0691 Fun 1 control circuit low. Now I already did a quick check, and this is a variable speed fan. So if you do have a variable speed fan, that means Fun 1. Sometimes he actually specifies like speed 1 or speed 2. Sometimes he comes up with Fun 1, Fun 2, even though it's all the same fun. But because we have only one fun and it's a variable speed, and it says control circuit, so we're going to do a visual inspection, see what I find out after all this talking. For you guys that don't like me talking, probably everything I've said up to now was completely pointless. But anyway, let's kind of do a visual inspection, check the fun, check connections, and go from there. And I got here, start to look for the basics, fuses, etc. Everything looks okay, but because this is a variable speed, we should just have, I believe, a big maxi fuse, probably a 70 amp fuse, which it doesn't show here. So I'm guessing that 70 amp fuse is going to be either underneath or somewhere in a different location somewhere for the fun. And then we're going to have a module in there, and there is a PWM wire or a communication wire, maybe a lean bus from the engine ECU that then communicates with that module and controls the speed. But I didn't even have to go that far. As I was start to check connections in there, let me show you. Let me put the flash on the phone. Okay, that's better. As soon as I got here, let me show you this. I found the culprit. Look at that in there. Let me see if I can show you this. Oh no, look, the green is right there. Right, it looks like it's gonna be an easy fix. So we're gonna pull this plug up here somehow and we'll try to repair it. Okay, and looks like my only option is gonna be, it's completely gone, is gonna be dismantle this plug and pull this pin back, because I have no room here to do anything. So let's gonna dismantle this and see if we can pull that pin all the way back. Let me see if I can show you how you remove at least this bit, then I'll figure out the rest later. So here in the middle, you'll just there's a little opening here, and if you can see, I'm just gonna put the pick in there and you press and pull up. There we go. That comes up. Come on. It should come with the rest, I think. Maybe. Does it come any further? Oh, that's it. There we go. There we go. This part comes off once you pull it up. And now I have a tab in there to pull that wire back, which is it. I'm gonna need some pliers. Just hold a second. So now I'm gonna grab the wire and I'm gonna try there we go, and he's out. There he is. So there is another tiny, teeny tiny. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. I can show you this. So in there on the plug, there is this tiny bit right there at the bottom. There's that tiny tab that I need to pull back at the same time as you pull the pin, or the wire in this case, on the other side. And now, let's see what we can do with this. And just so it gives me a little bit better room to work, what I've done, obviously I just put a brand new wire all the way, I solder in there, I don't know if you can see, all the way from the actually pin itself. So now we have a good length to work with. Now we're going to put in there, and then what I'm going to do, there we go, and now I can join the wires inside the corrugated trunking. So I'll do the joint somewhere back here. So this is in place. Now we can put this back in, like so. There we go. New. Now let's gonna do the joining somewhere here at the back. Maybe more for the back. There's that wire. There we go. There we go. Okay. Do it somewhere here maybe. Let me see if the wire is good here. Oh yeah, clean copper. Yeah, clean copper here. No problems. Looks like an easy fix for a change. So let's gonna get this done. So let me take a little bit more wire here. Let's make sure it's good. The insulation. I do apologize if I'm gonna be in front of the camera. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I'm not too much in front. Let's take a little bit of insulation here. So the wire is gonna have a different color, but who cares? And now let's put a little bit of tube shrinking. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit of a twisting. Come here. A little bit of twisting here as well. There we go. Now we're gonna put a tiny bit of flux. And now we're gonna put some solder on it. So, where is the let's just thingy to warm up, and we should be good to go in a second. There we are. Oh, perfect. Perfecto. So now we'll pull the tube shrink into place. And now it's gonna shrink it. That's perfecto. That's good. Yeah. So now let's cool down just a tiny bit. It's good. Let's gonna put that back into the trunking. Okay, it's good. Go. Now I'm just gonna need a cable tie, because I think that wraps in there if I'm not mistaken. So this goes like so. That is, yeah, the cable tie in there. So plug it in. Oh. Now the cable tie, and why don't I get more repairs like this? I should get repairs like this every day. That would be brilliant. So I'll do it like so. I think it was somewhere here. That's it. That's it. Now we're gonna put the airbox back in place, and that should be fixed. Okay, so it's running, and I cleared the codes, start it up. Just gonna leave it here for a little bit because the code used to take a little bit to come up. But I just thought about one thing that should show me if that fan is working or not, which is if I put the RC on, the AC on, that should trigger my cooling fan. Let me see if it's running. Yes, it is. There we go. So the fan is working fine, which means it's being controlled, which means the system is working fine. So stop. Let's just do another quick code read, but I have no reasons to believe that there is going to be any issues. And there we go, no fault codes detected. So that's it for this video, guys. Really quick and easy, to be honest. More jobs like this, I'm up for it. As the issue I explained at the start, guys, at the moment is not doing anything, so it could have been the battery, I don't know. I think time will tell. If it comes back again for that same issue, then we'll have to investigate these a little bit further. But for now, that's it for this video. If it comes back, you'll see a video for it, I'm guessing. So that's it now for this problem with the cooling fan. So with no further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. If you do still have any questions or any comments, guys, just put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.